Yeah, what is good, my anime people? What is good? Honestly, this show has been continuously interesting, in my opinion, and all the way up to this point, did Will really live up to Will Blood and his teacher, Gus? I think so, man. I think this was a perfect way to end off exactly what's probably about to come in the future, which is Will finally understanding what it means to be a paladin, finally understanding the position he was given ever since they have provided him such a title. So we'll be able to really see his growth come into play. So, that being said, it was a interesting area of where they choose to fight. It really reminded me of it reminded me of 300 Spartans when they had way more enemies to fight, but instead of fighting them in a battlefield that would benefit the enemy, they fought the enemy in a battlefield that would benefit them. And that's exactly what we're getting here, to the point where there's no way Bell and anybody is going to, truly be in a bad position compared to last time when they had enemies coming from above or even behind at some point. So this was cool though. Bell taking over the reign and sorry, Bell Will taking over the reign and finding out that he is a true leader. He is not just a monster, but he has friends that he can rely on. And seeing the two of them going back and forth, just swinging at each other, really did put a new perspective in play. Because we all know where that could have ended up leading. And Will was even considering like, oh, he's more tenacious than I thought. Maybe I'll just break another arm. Like he really wasn't there in this episode at the beginning, all the way to the point where he is then saved by his best friend. Pretty much being told like you're being a coward because you want to run away from all of us and think that that's going to be protecting us. But at the end of the day, it's just you running away from asking for help. And at the worst case scenario, he would have went into this battle that he himself knew he couldn't do by himself, and he would have lost. I mean, he would have used a demon sword, and maybe that would have been another way that we're, seeing this character lose more of himself over and over. But yeah, I do think this is a good way of showcasing Will has this side of him that will just go with the depression, that will go with the darkest thoughts in his mind and put him in a bad position, which makes him human. That is something most people have already done. They take, like myself, I was in a bad day and I took myself out of it and didn't talk to practically anyone, when there's people out there that would have loved to try to understand what I was going through and even would have been there for me. But instead of doing that, I chose violence. Sorry. I just chose the other way. And that's what Will was trying to do at the beginning, all the way to the point where his best friend gets his arm broken and is still capable of tricking Will to understand his humanity. This man is so helpful, so powerful, and so smart that he knew what his friend was doing. And if he moved, his friend gets pelted by a bunch of rocks that might actually do some damage to him, especially seeing how he had a broken arm. And he was willing to actually attack himself and Will just to prove his point. And that kind of speaks to the volumes of his friend. Like dude has just as much problems as Will, but at the same time they're a really good match, and I like how that ended up playing. Him just saying the friend line was more or less eye opening at the end of the day. But yeah, this battle was awesome. I loved seeing him take over and have these people working the best that they could. And also, I think we're looking at the future of Will just being a straight up traveler and trying to continue to pass good like he is already. People are already about to start worshiping Gracefield, and that's all that's he's set out to do, and that's what ends up being the thing he does at the end of this season, having people put up shrines of Gracefield yet again. So there you go. Things are coming closer and closer to what it should be. I hope you all are having an amazing day, night, evening, because it was not very shocking that they took out the Chimera. The thing that was most shocking to me is that someone beat Will to the dragon, and it made sense because he's like, "Yeah, you guys were fighting the strongest monster it had summoned, so I just made my way around and I attacked the demon that was controlling them." And it just tells you right then and there that the demons aren't nearly as organized as you would imagine. Not to mention, they aren't capable of as much thought without these demons being an influence on them. But yeah, if you wouldn't mind liking and subscribing to the video, that would be amazing. I'm just gonna start throwing that in at random parts of videos. But yeah, the other thing that caught me off guard is Will's way of tackling this Chimera and pretty much proving the fact that, if he really wants to, there's not a lot these demon monsters can do anymore to him. They need much more powerful forces, and I think that's where season two is going to lead. All of the monsters are going to be getting defeated by Will, and I think they're just going to step up the ante and wind up using some ridiculously strong people to actually be able to give Will a run for his money, more or less. So, overall, I hope you are having an amazing day, night, evening, whatever the case may be. I am your boy, the Anime G, and I will definitely be talking to y'all sooner than later. So don't forget about me. Like I said, though, we are in the great time of anime, and I truly do hope they can keep this up as of recently because things are just getting interesting with anime more and more lately. So, with that being said, take care, everybody, and have yourself a good one. Thank you for the support, and I will definitely be talking to y'all sooner than later. Peace.